Are we live? Guys, are we live? I'm not sure. It says stop
That
broadcast. Okay, I think we're live.
is that's live now.
All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the spoiler discussion for Captain Marvel, the 21st film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, here on Jeffito's movie blog. What is going on? Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. If you're here, type in the chat room saying hello, and let's talk spoilers for Captain Marvel. I will say this loud and clear. This is a spoiler discussion. So if you've not seen this movie yet, watch it because it's actually a pretty good movie. And if you haven't seen it, then why would you want to listen to this stream? Because we're going to spoil it for you. But anyway, before we talk spoilers, I have to introduce the special guest here on Jeffito's blog. First of all, my name is Ryan O'Toole. I am a movie reviewer. And if you guys aren't aware of the news by now, our good friend Jeff Millicky, the owner of this YouTube channel, is very sick at the moment, and he's been diagnosed with cancer, and he's in the hospital right now. And all of us YouTubers have agreed to take over his YouTube channel until he's ready to come back. And guys, we will say this right now: Jeff does have a GoFundMe page in the link in the description to help support Jeff and his medical bills. So if you want to support Jeff through all this, the GoFundMe page is in the link in the description. And we have a bunch of guests right here. My first guest right here, he is also a movie reviewer, and that is Tyler Calvert. Tyler, welcome to the spoiler discussion, man.
Hey, it's always good to do these spoiler discussions. Now I'm on Jeffito's movie blog. Always exciting. We're all here for Jeff in this time of need, so it's gonna be fun just to talk spoilers on his channel.
Okay, and our next guest, another great movie reviewer who loves comic book films as well. That is Sammy from Samuel OneWorld Reviews. Sammy, what's going on, man?
Hello, Buddy. I'm very happy to talk about Captain Marvel and apologize if you hear some background noise and all that stuff, but I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, guys, don't worry about the TV in the background. But Sammy, thank you so much for being here, man. And our next guest we have is Russell Howell from Howell's Hollywood Reviews. What's going on, Russell?
Not much, man. Glad to be a part of this, and yeah, definitely go hit that GoFundMe page, man. Get Jeff Malicki some more, some more donations. Really, with wrestling around with the hospital bills and stuff like that. But this is a great cause. I'm glad to get together with all you guys. This is such a good, positive community that really uplifts people in a time of need. And any excuse to talk movies, absolutely all over that. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Russell. And we do have Jeff watching along in the stream. Jeff, if you want to say something or not. Okay. But Jeff is here, guys. He's going to be watching along with us. But now, this is where we're going to warn you guys. We're going to be talking about the spoilers right now. So,
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
it's your fault. But anyway, now let's talk about the film Captain Marvel. Spoilers. So let's just go around really quickly and give our quick little thoughts on the film overall, starting with Russell. Russell, what did you think of Captain Marvel?
Overall, I mean, absolutely entertaining film. Did it have its problems and plot holes and a lot of things that you could nitpick about? Absolutely. But I thought Brie Larson was perfectly casted for Captain Marvel. I know a lot of people were skeptical out of the gate. They were like, "Oh, Brie Larson," a lot of hates. And this was one of the movies that I'd never seen so much negative reviews for a comic book film featuring a female lead. Like Wonder Woman got a little bit of backlash, but I feel like this went to the nth power. I feel like this got way more backlash than Wonder Woman, but obviously MCU's in a bigger light than the DCU. But overall, I liked the film. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the best part that I really enjoyed was the back and forth between Fury and Captain Marvel. I enjoyed their relationship in the film. And it had that nod to 90s nostalgic. I grew up in the 90s, so it was nice to see some of the 90s references. Sometimes it was a little bit of overkill during the film, but overall, I enjoyed it. It's a serviceable film. Like I said, it's far from perfect, but it's serviceable, and I can't wait to see where Brie Larson's character goes in Endgame. Overall, I absolutely recommend it. I think like I said, it's a serviceable film, far from perfect, but absolutely worth seeing.
Awesome. Sammy.
Overall, I thought this one was a good movie. It's definitely one of the weaker installments, but there's still a lot I enjoyed here. The performances I thought were great, the humor I thought was great, the action I thought was really fun and entertaining. It's an overall fun and entertaining movie. Again, on the weakest bunch of the MCU, it definitely does have its fair share of problems, but overall, I really had a great time in the movie.
Awesome, awesome. Tyler.
I thought it was a serviceable enough MCU entry. I mean, as far as like where I'd rank it in the MCU, it's definitely probably in the middle somewhere. It's a fine, serviceable origin story for the character. You know, it's a fun enough time. Even like the lesser, the lesser good MCU entries are still pretty solid. I mean, they have like the formula down to a T. I definitely, like I said, like everyone said already, I didn't really get the hate for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. While I wasn't like, I wasn't blown away by her performance as Captain Marvel. I think that she probably needs another movie or two to really step into that role more. So that's why I'm going to give her more time to develop into that role. Because I mean, pretty much every origin story, it didn't like completely sell me completely. With Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, the Hulk. Everyone has like, no, I wouldn't say weaker origin story, but you have to give them time to grow and develop. So hopefully, when Avengers Endgame comes around, she'll be a much more full-fledged, awesome character.
Absolutely. I'm on the same train with you guys. Captain Marvel, it's serviceable. It's an MCU film that does what every other MCU film does. It's a lot of fun. It's action-packed. It's funny at times. And Brie Larson, I agree with you, Tyler. I wasn't blown away by her performance and the character, but she was serviceable. Love Nick Fury in this film. I loved Ben Mendelsohn. Jude Law was charismatic. Just the film, yeah, it's definitely not in my top 10. This is kind of in the lower tier, like 18, 17. But it's still a serviceable film, and I recommend you guys to go see it. But now let's talk about our favorite scenes in the film. And I'm going to start with Sammy on this one. Sammy, what was your favorite scene in this film?
First, let's see, trying to remember what my favorite scene is probably the scenes. Every scene probably Brie Larson and Nick Fury. It has just great chemistry with each other. It has just great banter, and they have some best humor in the entire movie.
All right, cool. Let's go to Russell. Russell, what was your favorite scene?
You know what? I would agree with Sammy. I did enjoy the banter back and forth between Brie Larson and Sam Jackson's characters. But I also really did like the '90s nostalgia. I mentioned it again. I'm just a product of that era, that decade. So I kind of like look back to it and just like from little things like the 9 Inch Nails shirt, the Blockbuster video, the Radio Shack, just different things that they sprinkled in throughout this film really just helped set. It really put you in the 90s. Even the the songs like Nirvana, No Doubt, Just the Girl, all the stuff that they like highlighted really brings you back to the 90s. I really enjoyed that. And I love the scene with the cat, man. I really enjoyed those scenes. Those scenes were funny. But yeah, I would say, like I said, overall, I really think it's just the back and forth between Nick Fury and Captain Marvel. I love their, bantering back and forth. I really think that the chemistry between those two characters really helps drive the film.
Yeah, before I give you my favorite, Jack Benner is here in the live stream. What's going on, Jack? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, everyone. Enjoyed Captain Marvel, one of the weaker MCU films, but still enjoyable. And Jack's favorite scene, the banter between Carol Danvers and Nick Fury were great. Some of his scenes. My favorite scene was the scene with Carol Danvers and Nick Fury in the bar, because that was actually my favorite scene. And also Goose were some of my favorite scenes by far, for sure.
For sure.
Tyler, do you have a similar opinion, or do you have another favorite?
I liked all of those just fine, but I think the coolest scene was when Brie Larson went full Super Saiyan and then just went off into space and just took out all of the different stuff.
Yeah, went Superman on it.
Yeah, she went all Super Saiyan on everybody, and then we're out of here.
But yeah, let's just talk about Captain Marvel really quickly. My opinion on Captain Marvel is kind of mixed. Brie Larson, she does a good job. She doesn't do terrible. She does fine with what the source material and the script gives her. And when I found out that Brie Larson was cast as Captain Marvel, super excited. I mean, she won an Oscar for Rome, so you have to be excited for an Oscar-winning actress being cast in a superhero film. And it's the first female-led superhero film for the MCU. And I thought Brie Larson was fine, but I just found the character of Captain Marvel to be dull, like very dry compared to the other actors. And that's not Brie Larson's fault. It does come down to the script of the film, kind of fleshing out Carol Danvers as a character. it feels like the supporting cast is outshining Carol Danvers. And you have to care about the lead character. And I really didn't care about the lead character. This is kind of the situation that happened with me with Doctor Strange. I didn't love Doctor Strange as a character. I didn't really care about him until Infinity War. He was so much better in Infinity War. Maybe it'll be better for me in Endgame, but that's just my opinion. Tyler, what do you think?
Pretty much the same thing. I definitely think she needs some more time to actually grow into the role. Similar to what you said with Doctor Strange, although I did like Doctor Strange because I'm biased and I'm a big Benedict Cumberbatch fan. He wasn't like the strongest character in his origin story, but once he was in Infinity War, he was like a whole nother level of epicness with all the stuff in his banter with all the different heroes. So I'm thinking maybe when she'll have more time to bounce off all these different characters that are actually alive in Endgame, maybe she'll be a more full-fledged character. Plus, she's been away for over 20 years, so we'll also, maybe she's changed in that 20 plus year time span. But I mean, Brie Larson, I mean, obviously she's a great actress. I mean, when she wants to be, Room, Short Term 12. I mean, she obviously has the capability of stepping up her game when it comes to this character in the MCU. So I have faith that she's going to be probably at least better in Avengers Endgame.
I agree. I completely agree. Russell, what did you think overall of Brie Larson in the role?
Yeah, pretty much how you guys said, not to beat dead horses. When you have a character that's just so powerful, there's nothing that makes her vulnerable. And I think that is where you kind of lose the relatability with the character, because what we really haven't seen it. Like, what really is she like? What makes her vulnerable as a character? We don't really see it because her character can pretty much do everything. So it's one of those things that's hard to relate to her character. But yeah, Brie Larson is an A-list talent, great actress. Obviously we mentioned Room, tremendous in that film, and she brings her A game, and she's still a young actress, still trying to find her rhythm and stuff like that. But to tackle on, with the pressures of an MCU film, I think she handled it well. I think she's only going to mature as a character going forward in Endgame. And again, it's one of those things where it's a quick turnaround, man. I mean, we go from seeing her now to boom, next month she's an Endgame. So it's like, we have a little bit of, time between films, but I don't know. I really think her going forward at Endgame is going to make or break where we, how we feel about her as a character.
I agree. Completely agree with that, Russell. Sammy, what did you think?
I personally thought she was actually great in the movie. I really liked her charm. I liked her charisma. I thought she actually fit the role very well. I will admit her character could have been developed a little bit, but I definitely won't on that. But points-wise, I thought she fit the role so very well and thought she was great.
All right, awesome, cool. Jack says Goose and Baby Groot are the most adorable characters in the MCU.
Possible tag team.
They're going to get some movies or TV shows now.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll probably make a Disney streaming service show for Goose now.
Yeah, and Baby Groot. Get Baby
Groot. And Baby Groot. All right, let's go to our next thing. Let's talk about Jude Law. Jude Law is a very charismatic actor. I thought he was good in this movie, and we're about to spoil this. Holy shit, Jude Law is the villain. I completely saw this coming from a mile ahead.
I think everyone did, because they revealed
I think everybody did.
Who he actually was, and he's a villain.
Yeah, so yeah, I knew this was coming a mile ahead. Not this. If you read the comic books, you definitely know it's coming ahead. And Jude Law, he's the bad guy. So let's talk about Jude Law. Russell, what did you think?
Yeah, not having read the comics, but I know Jude Law is an actor. He's really never a protagonist. He's always the antagonist in most films. So to me, I already had a kind of my eyes on him as to make a turn somewhere along the film. So when he did make the turn, really wasn't a surprise. He's a typical Jude Law. I mean, you get what you get with Jude Law. I mean, it doesn't overpower you or wow you. I would say that I would even say like Jeff Bridges as Obadiah in Iron Man was still a better villain than Jude Law. Jude Law is he's just very flat sometimes. I mean, he was serviceable for the film, but I think they could have casted somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, to me, again, not Thanos, but nowhere near Whiplash. So I mean, he is what it is. It is what it is. You get the Jude Law, the Jude Law isms. He's pretty much the same character in every film. But yeah, it wasn't a surprise that he makes the turn. I mean, he never plays a good guy in any film. So yeah.
At least he doesn't talk about a parrot for 5 minutes. I want my bed.
This is true. This is true. Mickey Rourke can go on and on about the parrot or the bird.
Yeah. So Sammy, go ahead, man. Talk about Jude Law.
Yeah, Jude Law, I thought that was actually one of the best performances in the movie. I actually really liked the banter between Brie Larson. I thought that was actually great, honestly. But again, villain reveal, it was definitely very obvious. It was definitely going to be the villain, honestly. And I was like, when it was like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, like a mile away. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler.
Same as everybody else. I mean, I read the comics, so I know Jan Rog is a villain. So I was like, okay, what a surprise. He's actually the bad guy. I mean, I like Jude Law as an actor. I thought he did fine with the limited screen time he really had, because we really don't get really big chunks of him or his backstory at all. You kind of just see him in glimpses. Like, you know, obviously in the beginning, he's kind of training Brie Larson, or Veer, what do you want to call her. And then you see her every now and then on the spaceship, and then he finally arrives for, like, the final act. And he really doesn't get too much to do as far as, like, the final big bad scene. He kind of just, like, literally just gets, like, owned with one photon blast and then gets shot into space.
Yeah, especially the scene when he's talking to Captain Marvel at the end, and Captain Marvel's just like,
literally, he's like, "Fight me! You can't fight! You can't beat me!" Photon blasts.
Yeah. Jack says, I saw the twist villain coming. I was getting a bit suspicious when he was talking to Ronan. Yeah, Ronan was scary in this movie.
Well, the thing is, though, with the majority, I mean, obviously it goes for all things Disney. Like, how many times can Disney do the twist villain in a film? Like, it's like a common thing for Disney films in general to do the twist villain.
But the thing I did like was Mendelsohn's turn. I didn't expect that to go that way. With his character.
That was
because Mendelsohn's, I mean, historically always a bad guy. You know, you look at Rogue One, you know, Dark Knight Rises. Like his character, just in general, is just always a bad guy.
Robin Hood.
Oh yeah, Robin Hood.
So, Robin Hood. So I mean, when you see his character, and I like that fact. I kind of like how they kind of fool you on that one, because I wasn't expecting, because again, I've never read the Captain Marvel, the comics or anything like that, but just the typical Mendelsohn in a film, you're like, okay, well, he's probably the bad guy, and Jude Law might go either way, but for them to actually turn around and Mendelsohn's actually the guy that you kind of actually sympathize with at the, near the end of the film, I think is kind of great.
Yeah, he has a great character arc, that's for sure. Yes,
yeah, Ben Mendelsohn was great. I like for sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ben Mendelsohn. Is he next? No. Up next, let's talk about Nick Fury. Up next, I think we all pretty much agree Nick Fury was the best part about this movie.
Definitely. Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Sammy, take it away, man.
But yeah. I agree that Nick Fury is definitely the best. I mean, first off, Samuel Jackson, he's great and everything.
Sure.
I was definitely excited to see him what he's going to do Nick Fury. It's kind of a different Nick Fury than I'm used to seeing, as this was kind of before the Shield was thing and before he was kind of like big on Shield, that. And it was definitely interesting seeing that character. And it was interesting seeing a couple other stuff on the character and where he's represented by Jackson and a lot of interesting stuff about Nick Fury about the movie. And again, best part of the movie.
Yeah. So Nick Fury actually gets development in the MCU.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I absolutely love the de-aging factor that Marvel does with all their films, the Ant-Man films with Michael Douglas.
Oh yeah.
Man, they did. This should get nominated for an Oscar for visual effects alone, because the de-aging is unbelievable. With Phil Coulson as well. I don't believe I'm looking at a young.
Oh yeah.
They gave him hair too.
Yeah. So Russell, talk about Nick Fury, man.
Yeah, for sure. Again, Nick Fury is probably one of the best parts of the film. The anti-aging thing that they have, man, is so crazy. What they've been able to do, just with this, the little bit of time that they've actually implemented this in films, man. Like how you mentioned Ant-Man, Michael Douglas, Kurt Russell's character in Guardians 2.
Yes.
Just to see these guys, man, it's crazy. I mean, it looks literally like you de-aged them probably like 30, 40 years. It's completely crazy. The thing I just didn't like was how he loses his eye. I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's just to me.
I called that months ago.
I mean, I just think, to me, I know from, again, I don't read a whole lot of the comics, but I know that's not really how he lost his eye. I just think having him like with the cat and shit, I think that's just kind of stupid. But that's just me. I mean, it is what it is. That's a small nitpick. I mean, but overall, yeah, Sam Jackson just brings it. I mean, you're always going to get Sam Jackson in a film no matter what. But yeah, any screen time that he had was nice to see. It was actually nice to actually see some, backstory, some character development with Nick Fury, because you never get that in any of these films. So to see a little bit more and him get a lot more screen time than he has is pretty great.
All right, yeah. It reminds me of Winter Soldier. Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
Yeah, and then you realize that it's because of the cat, a flirt.
Cat.
His face. That's why he doesn't trust cats. I guess he's a dog guy now.
Yeah. All right. Now, Tyler, talk about Nick Fury.
I thought he was definitely one of the best parts of Captain Marvel. I mean, like you said already, the de-aging was pretty crazy. His was much less noticeable. Like I noticed it a little bit with Agent Coulson. Just like sometimes it didn't look like 100% legit, but
Yeah.
it was seamless with Samuel Jackson, and it was very cool to see him being a more like naive, kind of younger, kind of Nick Fury character, because we have like you've already said, we haven't really seen that sort of development and what his early years were like in Shield. So it was interesting to see him more open and vulnerable, not aware of everything like he is in the current MCU, where he knows all this stuff is happening already because he's dealt with it before in the 90s.
Yeah, we got William Clark in here. What's up, William? I actually enjoyed Sam Jackson's performance more than Brie Larson. I agree. The movie as a whole was really good. I love the chemistry she and Sam displayed, but yeah, the reason he loses eyes, just no. Yeah, for sure it was lazy. And also the ending of how the Avengers was set up was also really lazy.
The way that, because it was her name on her plane.
Yeah.
He's Carol Avengers Danvers.
That's just like the Justice League setting up the Justice League with the emails. Are you serious, Marvel?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, that email was really dumb.
Things name-wise, because I mean, obviously I guess technically Captain America is still the first Avenger, even though all that stuff happened in the 40s. But she's the Avenger.
True. All right, now let's talk about the Skrulls. Let's talk about Ben Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn. Tyler, talk about Ben Mendelsohn.
Like we mentioned a little bit earlier, I mean, Ben Mendelsohn is notorious for being a villain in pretty much everything these days. Rogue One, Dark Knight Rises. Right? There's so many of them. Rogue One, Robin Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the villain guy in the last several years. And
Ready Player One.
Okay, he's going to be the villain in this again. And then they flip the script, and he's actually kind of one of the good guys. So that was definitely a welcome change, because he's actually going to try and be a good guy for once. Not only that, but just the Skrulls in general. It's cool that we finally get, after 10 years, we get the inclusion of the Skrulls in the MCU. Curious to see if they'll ever come back with the way that they left things at the end of this film, because obviously it seems like they're going to be gone for a while, or maybe they'll come back, because they obviously go very far away. That's why Brie Larson's gone for 20 plus years. But Ben Mendelsohn was great. It was really cool to see the Skrulls. I mean, the actual makeup they did for the Skrulls was also impressive as well, because it was like, obviously it wasn't all CGI and all. They actually did the whole makeup for that. But it was just interesting to see the Skrulls and all those shape-shifting abilities and all the different rules in place for the Skrulls. And then you see, like, you don't know which one is which, because that was one of the other underlying fun kind of mystery elements to Captain Marvel, is like, you don't know, every now and then you don't know if that person actually is that person or if it's a Skrull.
True. Jack says a funny thing. How Nick Fury lost his eye reminded me of how Han got his name in Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Yeah.
That is true.
Basically the same kind of thing. It was also interesting to find out that Skrulls don't like cats or flurkins or what, he was not a cat at all. Like, get that thing away from me.
Get that away from me. Yeah. Russell, what did you think?
Yeah, the Skrulls. It was really nice to see the Skrulls introduced into the whole MCU. Yeah, and I'm kind of curious to see if they're gonna, make an appearance again down the road. I think the whole idea to shapeshift and be, whoever that they want to be is it can really add some, interesting dynamic in the whole entire MCU. So I don't know if what'll happen with that. Overall, though, Ben Mendelsohn, such a great talent, really, up and coming in the last, handful of years, like 6 or 7 years, really just has knocked everything out that he's done. It was really nice to see, obviously always takes on the villainous roles, but really nice to see them kind of pull the rug out from underneath you. And really, you actually kind of side with them. You kind of understand why they're doing what they're doing. And that's just a testament to, Mendelsohn as an actor, but I really like the way the script went with that. They could have, easily made him a villain, but they didn't. And yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed it. And it was nice to see the Skrulls get the addition into the MCU.
True. Sammy.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you said. The Skrulls are definitely pretty cool. It's interesting to see the different Batman because Batman's pretty much a villain every day nowadays, but it was definitely interesting to see him play something interesting again. I could have easily made him a villain, but the way they thought that was actually pretty interesting. And the Skrulls were definitely pretty interesting. I agree the makeup was definitely great. It's going to be interesting where we see the Skrulls later on in the MCU.
Okay, yeah, Ben Mendelsohn was really funny in this movie too, might I add. He added a lot of great with Nick Fury. The cat, that cracked me up. That was funny.
I liked it when they were all at the dinner table and asking him all the different things, if he could shapeshift and all the different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing out loud.
Can you shapeshift into an office cabinet?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I guess that's a good question. I'm curious though if they're going to use the Skrulls in some type of way in Endgame, where you think
that's what I was
saying.
Yeah, you think that he just killed Captain America. Psych, it was a Skrull.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe if they introduce that in there, now that they've sprinkled it in, are they going to use it moving forward? I mean, that's such a huge ability that you can do so many loopholes with that. So I mean, that really does pique my interest to see what they're going to do moving forward with those guys.
Yes, the way they had the Skrulls, it was unpredictable. I love with Phil Coulson as well, with Nick Fury driving the car and attack the Skrull. I like that. That was cool.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about. I want to talk about most. So let's talk about the end credit scenes now. The one end credit scene that I absolutely loved is the end credit scene I wanted, and that's Captain Marvel showing up with the Avengers and saying, "Where's Fury?" Yes.
He hasn't aged a day.
Hasn't aged at all. So let's talk about the end credit scene. Sammy, take it away.
Yeah, that's not a very accurate scene. It's something that we kind of expected hoping to see, but all around, it was definitely still great. Awesome scenes like Captain Marvel being like, "Where's Fury?" And that was awesome, and definitely gets me even more excited what she's going to bring to Endgame.
Yep. Russell.
I mean, obviously, it's a great way to, line it up into Endgame. It's so awesome to see Black Widow and Captain Marvel on the same screen together. I mean, I just thought that was so badass. You got two powerful women in the MCU now. And yeah, the whole "Where's Fury" thing really, really gets your mouth wet for the whole entire Endgame, man. It's a great way to set it up. And yeah, I thought it was a perfect way to set up Endgame.
Tyler.
I expected at least one of the end credit scenes with mid credit, end credit. One of them was gonna tie into Endgame in some way because you kind of have to since Endgame comes out next month. But I mean, you obviously tell they probably lifted that scene right out of Avengers Endgame because it was literally perfectly. It's like one of those with Ant-Man at the end of Ant-Man where that's a scene from Captain America: Civil War with Bucky and Falcon and all
that's
that.
Exactly right.
But it was cool. I mean, it's cool to see Captain Marvel actually going to integrate with the different people that survived, and she's going to find out what the hell happened. Obviously, Nick Fury's not with us anymore, so she's going to have to be filled in on all that stuff, and she's going to have to go kill Thanos with everybody. And she hasn't aged at all, so that's cool, I guess. I mean, it's not like a 20-plus year gap between the Captain Marvel and Infinity War / Endgame.
Yeah. And Cap still has his beard, so he's going to shave it off.
Yeah. Digitally removed it.
And the final end credit scene, guys, is Goose the cat out the Tesseract.
I love that one.
That was hilarious. I was crying out loud.
Yeah, same.
like I knew that they were gonna do something similar to that because obviously he has to get it out one way or another, and because obviously in the Avengers, that's how they tied it into the Avengers because it's in they have it in the Avengers, and that's when Loki takes it. So it's like, okay, well this makes it extra gross, and you realize that somebody had to pick up this thing after Goose threw it up.
Yeah. And Goose's powers are so awesome. He's like an octopus. Yeah,
he just like has tentacles and just like throws everybody.
I'm gonna trust you not to take my eye out. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the action sequences. That's what I want to talk about. The action sequences, I feel like they're gonna be so forgettable. Like, there's not one really memorable action scene besides the train scene. Like, there's so many train scenes in comic book movies. Spider-Man 2, the Wolverine. Like,
both of those were great, though.
Both of those were great. Let's talk about the action now. Russell, what did you think of the action?
Yeah, kind of what you said. It is a lot of things are forgettable. I did like a little bit of the aerial fighting and stuff like that, just because she was in the Air Force and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool. It was just something a little bit different. But yeah, kind of how you said it, man. It's really, you're gonna walk out with like not remembering a whole lot. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Oh yeah, she kicked and beat the shit out of an old lady on a train. But it's like outside of that, like I thought like the final battle really wasn't. It was anticlimactic pretty much. It was like and that's it. I thought her getting her actual suit, I thought was more climatic than some of the fight scenes in the film. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a middle of the road film. I mean, this movie's far from perfect, but again, as we've all said, it's serviceable. They could have done a lot better with some of these action sequences, but overall, not. I mean, again, serviceable.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I mean, there's some action scenes that are exciting, like the space battle, with all, like I've mentioned before, because I said that was one of my favorite scenes of the whole film. But yeah, there really wasn't like any type of big action, really exciting action scenes. I mean, some of the action in the beginning, when Captain Marvel breaks out, and she has to fight all the Skrulls while her hands are stuck in those tubes, so she actually has to just force her way and fight in her way, even though she can't use her photon blasters and all that. So that was kind of cool and unique, the way it kind of nerf her powers a little bit in that scene, and then she just goes full all out with her Super Saiyan-like powers at the end. And she uses them well. I mean, she uses them for all the different space stuff, but there really wasn't. And I guess the other henchmen with Yanrog and all them that she was friends with in the beginning, they weren't very exciting scenes either. They kind of just spliced together the random fights and the No Doubt song, and it just didn't really work for me. The use of "I'm Just a Girl" by No Doubt while that whole action scene was playing out. That one was one of the one. Like, I like the '90s aesthetic and all the songs, but that was like the one that felt really out of place. Like they were trying to go full like Guardians of the Galaxy with the soundtrack. Mm-hmm. It would have been nice if there was like a more exciting battle between Brie Larson and Jude Law's character, but it was really just like over in like 10 seconds.
True, very true, man. Sammy.
Yeah, I personally thought the action was really good. It was definitely fun, entertaining, and very enjoyable, especially the space battles and the train sequence. I mean, it's definitely not the best action sequence. I mean, there have been far better action sequences in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I won't say it was unforgettable, but I could definitely see why you guys were. But I still thought actions were good overall, but I do wish I was feeling like more emotional tense while watching the scenes, though. I'll definitely admit that.
True. Same as these guys. There's no airport scene. There's no Battle of New York. There's no Battle of Wakanda. No highway fight. It's just serviceable action scenes in a comic book movie that I'm not going to remember.
Yeah, pretty much every major action scene you basically have seen clips of in the trailers.
True. Yeah. If you watch the trailers for this movie, you've seen it.
And you see clips of the space battle, the train scene, and you pretty much have seen bits and. I mean, I guess that goes to show you don't watch the trailers. I guess, but
true, very true. All right, so now let's talk about Endgame. Since Jack Benner commented, can't believe Endgame comes out in a month. That is crazy to believe that Endgame comes out next month. So now let's talk about our anticipation for Avengers Endgame with Captain Marvel. So I'm going to start with Sammy since he's really excited right now. Sammy, talk about how excited you are with Captain Marvel in Endgame, and what are you hoping for they do?
I'm definitely excited to see what you're bringing in. Because the Endgame is probably my most anticipated movie of the year and all that. And like I said, okay, they could have been developing the movie, but I do hope they bring a lot more energy and I'm sorry. Overall, I just hope they really bring a lot of the badassness and a lot more interest. Sorry.
No worries, man.
Overall, I'm definitely excited to see Captain Marvel. Hopefully, Brie Larson can be a little bit better in terms of character, and it shows definitely great here. And I'm definitely excited to see what Captain Marvel bring in the movie, and I really hope we see a lot more badass, a lot more great moments for her character. That's basically all I'm hoping.
All right, cool. Russell.
Yeah, I mean, Captain Marvel's going to add, I mean, a different mix to this, group of badasses. And I mean, she herself is just such a badass. But kind of like what I said, like we don't know what really her weakness is. I mean, like obviously people that have read the comics probably, I mean, I'm sure they discuss weaknesses, but we really don't know. She's like this all powerful being almost. So she can do pretty much anything. So it's going to be interesting to see her dynamic with the Avengers. Really kind of. I'm like heartbroken to think that we're going to lose Tony Stark in this film. It's going to be like his final, it is his final film. I want to make sure that they put him, send him out, gracefully, because he's just such the important part of this. Since 2008's first Iron Man, he is the face of the Avengers in my book. I can't see another actor reprising Iron Man. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do all this, to see what characters, they are going to do away with. I think there was rumors that Captain America, I think, is done after this one as well.
Maybe.
So I'm kind of curious what the Russo brothers are going to do. I know, they've constantly put out great work. So I have, nothing but, faith in these guys. I think they're going to do the MCU, proudly. But yeah, like I guess overall though, I'm really interested to see how Captain Marvel mixes in with everybody else.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah, like everybody else said, I think I'm excited to just see what the confrontation between her and Thanos is going to be like, just because I imagine it's going to be one of those kind of crazy, unstoppable force meets an unstoppable object kind of things. It's one of those, like, because she's so powerful and he's really powerful. And Thor is really powerful too. I think people underestimate how powerful Thor is. And if Thor can't kill him either, then I can't imagine with Captain Marvel's character, because this is going to be interesting to see them actually go toe to toe, because they're going to get some type of big action set piece one-on-one, because it's Captain Marvel, and she's arrived after 20 plus films. She's been gone for all this time now. This is the page, like this is like the SOS, Captain Marvel, save us all because you're so powerful and we need you. So she's going to come in and try and save the day. Obviously, I don't think she's going to kill Thanos. I think they're going to give that to one of the main Avengers that we've grown to love, whether it be, their like final death, the final before their death, like Iron Man or Captain America. I don't think she's going to kill Thanos, but I think that she'll play a very large part in killing Thanos if they decide to kill off Thanos.
Exactly. Yeah, Captain Marvel is powerful enough to move planets, like in the comics. Like, of course, she could take down Thanos, for sure. And I'm interested to see how that's all going to play out in Endgame. And, yeah, I hope they do better with Captain Marvel, flesh her out a lot more. I think she's going to be one of those characters that fits well with the Avengers. Like, Doctor Strange was great in Infinity War. I really like him now. And I think they could do the same with Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. Like, she's with the team, and she could be funny. She could have a personality. And this one, it just seemed like there wasn't enough to her character that made me care. And I'm hoping with this one, they really beat the crap out of Thanos, and it's all going to be super emotional. And then I'm with Russell. I could definitely see Iron Man dying in this one. Captain America, I think he'll not die. I think he'll retire and give the shield to Bucky, something like that. Yeah,
makes sense.
Good to see how Endgame's going to be. Maybe all our predictions are wrong. like an Endgame series, but still, I'm super excited for Endgame. It's coming out in a month.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's our spoiler discussion for Captain Marvel. So, have you guys seen Captain Marvel yet? And what were your thoughts on it? And what were your thoughts on our spoilers on this film? So, let us know down below in the comment section. And thank you to all the guests here that have joined the spoiler discussion. And we're just all going to quickly run down our social media accounts so you guys can go follow us if you want to. And starting with Russell. Russell, where can people find you on your social media?
Yeah, House Hollywood Reviews on YouTube, do movie reviews, trailer reviews, all that fun stuff. Also, have a podcast with my good buddy Chance Ellison from the Schmodown, Notorious by Chance. Join the Facebook group and subscribe to our podcast wherever podcasts can be found, Notorious by Chance. We throw out polls where people vote on what we watch. Majority are usually bad movies, but it's just a fun thing to do with all the movie lovers that we have. And if you guys haven't, go ahead and subscribe to it.
Oh, real quickly, Adam Daly just joined the live stream. What's up, Adam? Good to see you in here, man.
Yo.
He says the Avengers are lame compared to this team up, and Drax should kill Thanos. It would be cool if Nebula wore the gauntlet. Yes, that would be awesome.
Fit with the theme of the comics.
Yeah, fit in with the comics for sure. Sammy, where can people find you on your social media?
On YouTube, you can find me on Samuel OneWorld Reviews, where I do stuff on movies, TVs, music, games, all that stuff. That's you find all my stuff. It's my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like, I have a lot of social media stuff to do. So, but you can find me on YouTube on Samuel OneWorld Reviews.
Awesome, thank you, Sammy. And Tyler, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on YouTube, Tyler Calvert. It's just my name. I do trailer reactions, movie reviews, early movie reviews, because I usually see movies early, and unboxings, and I do ranking videos as well. Pretty much the same kind of content we all do for the most part. But other than those, I mean, you know, Twitter, Tyler_Calvert23, and Instagram is Tyler Calvert23 with no underscore.
Awesome. And my channel, guys, is Ryan O'Toole. I do movie reviews just like these guys, just in case you didn't know. I also do ranking videos. I also do Blu-ray videos. And if you guys love the MCU, I'm doing an awesome series on my channel called the Endgame series, where all three of these guys right here are on my series. Russell Howell has already joined me for Iron Man 2, so you guys can go check that out. And Sammy is going to be joining me really soon for Captain America Civil War. And Mr. Tyler Calvert will be joining me for Thor Ragnarok. So look forward to that. And I just dropped my newest episodes, Winter Soldier with my cousin Patrick Preston, and Guardians of the Galaxy with Durbin from Durbania. So definitely go check out all our social media links, guys. They are in the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching this spoiler discussion of Captain Marvel on Jeffito's movie blog. If you guys liked it, hit that thumbs up button and share it with other movie fans out there, and click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon for more contact. And once again, guys, thanks for tuning into the spoiler discussion. We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
All right. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.